How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
You just said, all right, money should be in my account if everything works out well. And then everything didn't work out well.
Well, everything didn't work out well.
Right.
This is the plaintiff, Barbara Ferranti. She says the defendant, her daughter, asked her to cash a check for her, and as it turns out, the check was a fraud. Unfortunately, the defendant's a compulsive liar. And daughter or no daughter, she's out $2,782 over this. And that's just what she's suing for today. This is the defendant, Christina Windtime. She says she got the check from working online. It was the third check she received, and she thinks her mother's lying about it being no good. That's right, she hates to say it, but her mother's just a mad old lady who's lashing out at her and trying to get custody of her son. She's looking forward to the judge getting to the bottom of things here today and knows the truth will finally come out. She's accused of being mean to a mom.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Have a seat, guys, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Barbara Ferranti?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing your daughter, Christina Windtime, for $2,782 that you say you have been damaged as a result of her giving you a bad check to cash. What happened?
Well, I went to Christina's home, and I was getting ready to pick up my grandson for a visit. And she said to me,
How
hey,
old's
Mom.
your grandson?
4 years old. She said, hey, Mom, can you cash this for me? I said, well, what is it? And she said, it's a check from work. She said, I don't want to tell my husband because I'm going to pay my rent with that. I want to pay 2 months in advance. I said, okay, let me see the check. So I proceeded, and I put the check into my account on 4/12 of this year. And the money was there, and she said, well, let me know when it's going to clear. So I called her back up after I had deposited it in my account, and I had told her, the check will be clear for you on Tuesday. She said, great.
Okay, and then you gave her the money?
And I took out the money for her out of my check.
Why didn't you wait till Tuesday?
Because that's when it was clear from my account.
Okay.
That's when the bank told me that it would clear.
Listen to my question. The bank told you it will clear on Tuesday.
On
That's
Tuesday.
the amount. And then you gave her the money on what day?
I gave it to her on Tuesday morning.
After it cleared?
After it cleared.
But it didn't clear.
I was told the check would clear.
Not would. Did. Do you understand the distinction between what you're saying and what I'm saying? What I would have done, getting a third-party check, is waited until the bank said, yep, check was good. You didn't do that. You just said, all right, money should be in my account if everything works out well, and then everything didn't work out well.
Well, everything didn't work out well.
Right. Who is the gentleman next to you?
This is my brother-in-law.
And who's the lady next to you?
That's my daughter,
Okay.
Leslie.
Her sister?
Her sister.
Okay, go ahead.
With that, I was going to work. I did not find out that this check was no good until Wednesday.
Right.
So she had already gotten money prior to.
And how did you find out that it was no good on Wednesday?
I tried to use my debit card, and my debit card was
Yeah, because
declined.
what happened was that the check didn't clear. It never cleared.
Okay.
It was a fraud, right?
Yes, I have the check here.
Let me see it. What's going on?
It's not the first check I had gotten. through the company. It's the third one. Now, I didn't tell her when she picked up my son to cash the check. I handed her the check to hold on to. I was in the process
Hold on to and do what? Ride it like a pony? What do you do with a check?
Because I was...
Why didn't you hold on to it?
I was in the middle of moving into my new apartment. I didn't want to lose it.
So did you give her like a lamp, a pan, and a check to hold while you're moving? I don't understand.
No, I just gave her the check to hold on to.
Why would you lose it? Why don't you just put it somewhere where you're not going to lose it?
Because I didn't pack everything up.
Did you not trust your husband to not spend it?
No, it had nothing to do with that. He didn't even know I had gotten it in.
So you didn't want him to know?
Well, I wanted to pay the rent.
And what, your husband doesn't want to pay the rent?
No, it wasn't that. I wanted to surprise him with paying the rent so he could pay his car insurance.
So you give it to her to do what with? Because if you don't, she doesn't catch it, you can't pay the rent. So why would I believe that you didn't ask her to cash it?
I didn't ask her to cash it. I asked her to hold on to it.
How are you going to pay the rent by her holding it?
Because I was going to get it back from her to cash it. I was going to cash it in my own account.
Did you give her your children's birth certificates? Did you give her your marriage? Are you married? What's that? Marriage certificate. Did you give her other important documents that couldn't get lost in your move?
No, because those are already in the safe.
Oh, well, if you have a safe, why don't you put the check in the safe?
Because I don't have the code for the safe.
Oh. Do you not understand how everyone within the sound of your voice thinks you're a liar, hearing you explain these things? Of course you gave it to her to cash. The problem is, go forward, go ahead. You felt she owed you money, and what did you feel she owed you money for?
She claimed my son on her taxes.
So tell me about that.
She was supposed to give me money for a car from her taxes.
Okay.
So this way I could have transportation for me and my son.
Okay.
So that's what I thought the money that she handed me was from.
For a car or for the taxes?
From the taxes for a car, to get a car.
For a car or because she claimed your son inappropriately? Why did you claim her son as a dependent?
I didn't claim that child as a inappropriate dependent. I have been claiming that child for the last 3 years because I have taken care of that child for the last 3 years while she's ran around and abandoned the child.
Define abandoned.
Define abandoned. She never came around to see the child. She took off with boyfriends. She never called. And then on a whim, when she felt like coming around, that's when she'd come around and take the child.
How much time would the child be left with you before she'd come around?
Months at a time.
Months at a time?
Months at a time.
Come on up, sister. Are you close with the family?
Somewhat.
Do you know this to be true, what your mom
Yes.
said?
She did ask her to cash the check.
No, not that part. I meant the part about the child.
Yes, he's been living with us over like about 3 years, so.
And I was living with you guys too.
And she moved out, and in I think it was July, she moved out, and she didn't really come around as much.
Where was the child?
With you.
So what do you think happened? You think she gave you a check, asked you to cash it, knowing that it was fraudulent?
I didn't know it was fraudulent, but her husband texted me on my phone and said I owed his wife $4,000.
When?
This was just after the check was found to be
fraudulent?
Fraudulent.
So it certainly looks like they're trying to stiff you as much as they can stiff you, and that's what that check was for. I don't understand. Why would it be anybody's fault but yours? Why would your mother eat if the check was fraudulent and you don't know that it was fraudulent? You had no idea that it was fraudulent. She thinks you and your husband knew, which is a very common thing. This happens all you know that now, right? Because you spoke to the DA's office.
Now I got educated.
Okay. The police inexplicably tell you, oh, this is a personal matter.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because a defendant is your daughter? Yeah, it's deeply personal, but it's also criminal.
Exactly.
Okay? So it's ridiculous that the police gave you that hard time. But the DA sat down with you and explained how common this is, that people try to pass checks from third parties that are, in fact, not legitimate.
Yes.
But let's say that the company you worked for, which is some internet company, illegitimately paid you or something. I'm finding that hard to believe for the following reason, because you say that you got one good check from that company that you were able to cash, and one prior bad check from the company.
And then they agreed to reimburse me with another check that was good.
Okay, the one that was bad, it had insufficient funds?
Right.
Do you understand the difference between that and a counterfeit check? This is a counterfeit check.
I understand the difference, yes.
Right, that's
But
what
I
makes
did
it
not-
look like your company didn't send you a counterfeit check, because your company was paying you for work you did. You know, one thing is for the company not to have funds, another thing is for a counterfeit check. Somebody else counterfeits the company check.
Okay.
You see? That's the part that makes you look a little dirty. But now, let's discuss this in a different way. Let's do it your way, which is, unbeknownst to you, the thing is a fraud, right? Who's going to eat that? Why would she ever eat that? Your answer to that is, oh, she owes me money for claiming my son as a dependent. That's your answer?
No.
Okay, so what's your defense?
I never asked her to cash the check.
Yeah, but you took money for it, so you clearly asked her to cash the check. Didn't you take
No.
$2,000? I'm sorry, am I misunderstanding? Did you not take $2,543 from
I
her?
thought that was from the taxes that when she claimed my son.
I'm sorry, the check is for how much?
$2,893.
Okay, and you say you gave her $2,543. Why
Yes,
the
ma'am.
difference?
She promised me $350 out of that check.
Oh, as a fee?
As a fee.
Oh, it wasn't motherly love doing your daughter a favor. You were actually getting paid $350 for cashing it behind the husband's back? Why did you charge your daughter $350?
I didn't charge her. She offered.
It doesn't matter that she offered. Why would you take it? $350 fee for charging the check.
I didn't get $350.
No, you got zip. But why would? But that's what you thought you were going to
I
get.
got a bank account closed, a mother-in-law's bank account closed, and a bunch of
Because your name was on your mother-in-law's bank account.
Exactly.
So when the bank had to recoup their $2,893, they took what was left in your account plus what was left in any other account that had your name on it. That doesn't answer my question. My question was, what mother thinks in her head, you know, oh, let me gouge my daughter $350, you know, because she offered it. Did you offer her $350 to cash?
I never asked her to cash the check. So
Yeah,
why would
so
I
that
have
her
the
version
money?
is she never asked you to cash a check.
No, I have a
But
witness
when
to
you're
that.
accepting money, which was $2,543, exactly $350 less, don't you say to her, why are you shortchanging me $350?
Like I said, I didn't know she had cashed the check, so why would I have asked her
What
that?
did you think she was giving you $2,543 for?
To buy a vehicle from the money that she had claimed
Why
my
exactly
son.
$2,543, such an odd amount? By the way, doesn't this mean that the company owes you money, so you're going to be reimbursed this money anyway?
I can't get a hold of the company now.
Whose problem is that?
Evidently mine.
Yeah, apparently. What's $212 amount taken out of the account? Well, that's not making sense. You're trying to get paid twice then.
All I want back is the $2,500
That you gave her?
and $25.43, the $49 for over fees.
Let me see proof of the $49 for over fees. And what else?
And that's it.
When did you find out that your mother had been claiming him as a deduction?
When my taxes were returned, when I tried claiming my son.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever sue your kid if your kid just screwed you over financially and there was no excuse?
No, I think you have to handle those things in your house. You don't bring that to court. You know, you should talk to your daughter.
But the daughter's not listening to you.
You still have to figure out a way to do it. You get your family involved. I don't think going to court is the answer.
What do you think?
I agree. I think the court of the family should be the way you handle it, not in the court of law.
Anybody think that it's appropriate to do?
I mean, it depends. If it's definitely not about the money, but maybe if there's some kind of lesson to be taught, then perhaps, yeah.
Fair enough. You listening? Yeah. Going inside the courtroom.
When Christina finally moved out in July and left that child with me, we had an agreement. I had temporary custody. We had it signed by a bank, notarized, the whole 9 yards. I had that child all year. She didn't have any right to claim that child because she did not take care of that child that whole year.
Since this problem between the two of you, are you still seeing your grandson?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he still living with you?
No.
Okay.
No.
It sounds like she's a big part of his life.
I lived with her for the first 3 years of his life.
Right.
So yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when you run out of heat and the only source of heat is a waterbed, and that waterbed is your mother's, where are you going to put your child? My son was a premature child. He couldn't hold his own body temperature. So yes, he is a big part of her life. But I worked, okay? When I worked, my father watched him. I was at one point paying my sister to watch him. When I moved out because of the fact that she turned around and told me that I couldn't have my boyfriend at the house. When I went to the house to get my son, she was not there. When I called, she'd tell me I couldn't pick up my son because they had other things to do, okay? So she wants to run her mouth about it, that's fine, I don't care.
Are you guys in a custody battle?
Yes.
But, okay.
I'm fighting her and my son's father for custody of my son.
Right, but with all due respect, grandparents don't have a right to
We know
custody.
this.
Okay,
We know this.
That's Supreme Court settled law for many years.
We know this.
So you're really fighting your ex, but you're saying your mother's joining forces with your ex?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no,
In December, when I allowed my son to spend the night after a doctor's appointment, she moved my ex in so I couldn't get my son back.
Stop looking at her and stop talking to her. Talk to me when you're talking to me.
Okay? I had to get my son's father to come out with my son so I could get my son back because she threatened to have me arrested if I came on her property or called her house again.
Yeah, but obviously after that, you guys patched things up because you're handing her a check that you say you wanted her to hold, and she's the person you turn to hold it, and she's telling you she's going to buy you a car someday. I mean, you know, so that's you're talking about stuff that happened before you guys patched it up, right?
We fight back and forth all the time. It's always been like that.
Do you have a good relationship?
No.
You think your mother's a liar?
I know she is.
And you think your daughter's a liar?
I know that wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
See, but I don't manipulate other people to lie for me.
Okay, folks, based on what I've heard, she needs to be reimbursed for the fraudulent check. And you can go chase a company you chose to work for and file a lawsuit against them to try to get reimbursed for money that you should have been paid for working. But it doesn't become her problem. As for her promise to buy you a car, you can't sue on a promise. Somebody says they're going to be nice to you and buy you a car. It's really nice, but you can't sue on a promise. And you can't say, oh, I just, nailed you out of all this money, but you know what? Since you promised me you were going to buy me a car, I'm just going to keep that money. And that's not how it works. If you feel that she inappropriately claimed your child on the taxes without your permission, you can file a separate lawsuit. You just can't steal this money, okay? You can file a separate lawsuit against her and say, and prove to a court of law just how often you were in charge of the child versus how often she was in charge of the child. But it doesn't sound like that's going to go too well for you, judging by other people living in the house who are going to be testifying against you. So you might want to think that one through. And as for this check, however, my work is done, and I find in favor of the plaintiff and the amount that she gave you plus her bank fees, which is $2,592. That is my judgment.
Thank you.
So the fraudulent check is not the plaintiff's problem. It's your problem. Step on in here. What's your feeling on the outcome?
It is what it is.
What's going on in the family here?
You know what? Liars will always be liars, and that's the way it's going to stay.
Who knows what that means? We don't know what that means. Can you patch things up? And you said it goes back and forth.
It's always gone back and forth since I was little, so
and
you know
will
what?
Continue
It'll
to,
continue.
You think? Will you go back to court against her to try to get that tax money back?
Most likely.
You will. All right. You head right down there, all right? So you step on out here and tell me what your feelings are coming out of the courtroom after all of this.
Well, I won, so I'm happy.
Yeah?
That's it. It's over. I don't have to deal with the bank anymore.
No, not with the bank, but you have to deal with...
She's my daughter.
Your daughter, right?
She's my daughter.
This is the way things are in the family?
This is the way it is. We're always going to butt heads. We're good.
But you still love her?
I still love my daughter.
Harvey?
You know, in some big cities, there are services where you can get low cost or even free family mediation. They actually do this to avoid people going to court and avoid violence in all sorts of situations. This family really needs it. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtual Coffee Machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your Virtuo Pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This is the plaintiff, Robert Purtell. He says he met the defendant through a mutual friend and loaned him some money. He loaned him money in the past and was repaid with the agreed-upon interest, so he thought nothing of it. There are no honest people left in the world anymore because the guy repaid him with a check from a closed account, and that's about as low as you can go in his book. He's suing for $980, the amount of the loan plus interest. This is the defendant, George Zito. He says the plaintiff's nothing more than a two-bit loan shark. And boy, does he have a reputation around the old age home they both live in. What he's doing is not only immoral, it's illegal, because he's charging $40 interest for every $100 he borrows. Bottom line, he paid the guy in full and owes him nothing. He's accused of hanging a loan shark out to dry.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says he got stiffed by the defendant on a loan. But the defendant says the plaintiff is a loan shark with a bad reputation in the old age home. It's the case of Loan Shark Week.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Robert Purtell?
Yes,
You are suing George Zito for $980, $700 that you loaned him, and $280 for interest that he agreed to pay on the $700. Okay, what's going on?
Well, they just chose not to pay, so I decided to take him to court.
Okay, but tell me about the loan.
Well, you know, I got to tell you, Your Honor, I didn't put a gun to his head. He could have said no, didn't have to take the money.
Okay, but tell me how the loan worked. He came to you, and you live in the same senior housing community.
Right.
Okay, and what happened?
Well, he needed money, so his friend told him, and we got together, and he borrowed the money. And he knew the interest, and he took the money anyway.
Okay, and how much was the interest?
$40 on 100.
Okay, and do you understand that that comes out to 35% interest?
Well, let's just put it this way, nothing is free.
Okay, and had you loaned him money in the past?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
Many times.
The agreement was that for every 100 the defendant borrowed, he had to pay me back an additional 40. And then you have in quotation marks, 40, 100.
Right.
That was your slogan, 40, 100. Okay. So many times you said?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened this time?
You get to a point where you just don't want to pay anymore.
Okay. Mr. Zito, why don't you tell me?
Okay. It happened. I borrowed the $800 from him. He was charging 40% interest on the $800. Okay, because I had to get my truck fixed. I paid him the whole loan on that. That was done. Second loan, I knew it was personal loan. I borrowed $600 from him. Charge of 40% interest. The housing authority.
It's not exactly 40, but go ahead. Okay.
The housing authority called up and told him he can't do that anymore.
How did the housing authority, you mean with the housing community where you live?
The community where I live, yeah.
Okay, is that government run or is it private?
It's run by HUD.
Okay, and so how did they get wind of the fact that Mr. Purtell was loan sharking?
I have no idea, but
okay, did you tell them?
He came upstairs that day and he was scared and told me, he says, they're going to throw me out.
And did they?
No, well, they gave him a chance. They gave him another chance.
Have you been loaning money since then?
Yes, he has.
Are you kidding me? And after they tell you that they don't want you, do you want to get thrown out of there?
There was a few residents he loaned money to.
After that?
No, not after that.
Before that.
Before that, but not after that.
No, after that, that was done.
That was done.
Yeah.
But he has no problem coming to court and suing you for what they told him he wasn't allowed to do.
Exactly.
So are older people generally more honest than younger people?
I think so. I think old people tend to care less about what other people think because they've kind of given up on caring.
They've given up. They're just waiting to die.
That's how old we're talking here.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with him, what he said.
Okay, are they just more honest fundamentally?
No, I think they just know how to lie better, and they just know what to say to people, and they just have
how to just manipulate.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, another point of view. You're welcome. Going inside the courtroom.
You know that you have a cap at the interest that you can charge, and that when you try to charge more than that, you get penalized in your state, like in most states, right?
I don't know, but I'm not that smart.
Oh, well then, I am. So allow me then to educate you. If you do what you did, you could be imprisoned for 6 months. You can't charge that kind of usurious interest. It's called loan sharking when you do that, and it's against the law. So you could actually go to jail for 6 months.
It's actually it started out helping the people that that can't get money from a bank.
No, it's helping you. If you get 40 bucks for every 100, you're not doing it because you want to help people. Go to a soup kitchen and ladle out some soup. What you wanted to do was make some money.
Right, but at the same time, I was helping people that couldn't get money from a bank. And at the same time,
every loan shark says that.
I did not put a gun to nobody's head.
Yes. So did he threaten to break your kneecaps?
No.
I was threatened by his friend.
You were threatened by his friend?
Yes.
What did his friend say?
His friend said that he's going to break me 2 legs.
That he was going to break your legs. The plaintiff was going to
has someone to break my legs.
That he has someone to watch out because he has somebody who could.
I had the
were anybody in the housing community's legs ever broken?
No.
Okay. Any pinkies?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Right?
No.
Okay. Guess what? I got some bad news for you. Some states punish people who do what you do and say, now you can't have any interest charge. You only get the principal.
That's what I put on my paper.
Some states look at what you do and say, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. We gotta pull a soup Nazi here, and now you have no soup at all. Are you a Seinfeld fan?
No.
Are you a Seinfeld fan?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you have no soup. Okay. Here's the problem. Your state wants to make sure that you don't do what you do. So much so that the law says that you don't get to use me to collect any of it. In other words, the punishment for loan sharking criminally is 6 months. The punishment for loan sharking civilly is that if he doesn't feel like paying you a penny, he doesn't have to pay you a penny. You don't get to collect one stinking penny. How many people still owe you money?
I think there's one more.
One more? Make sure you tell whoever that is.
But it's not the interest that the person was paying is nowhere near what he was paying.
What was it?
Maybe $7.
Maybe $7 on the 100. I doubt it. The interest you're allowed to pay,
Your Honor.
the interest you are allowed to charge
Your Honor.
Are you hearing me?
When I tell you...
I haven't told you have no interest in knowing the legal interest you're allowed to charge. Would you like to know? 12%. That's what you're allowed to do. And you can't loan anybody in the housing community, apparently, because they don't want you loaning anybody. It's not just loan sharking. It's they don't want him making loans, or no? It's just the loan sharking part.
Loan sharking, yeah.
The loan sharking part. Okay. Well, the legal interest that you can charge is 12%, not anywhere near what you were charging. Verdict for the defendant.
Well, let's see what the plaintiff has to say about that.
Nothing to say.
No?
No.
I mean, did you know these laws before you went in there?
No, I've never gotten into it before.
Right, and the judge just told you that you lose the principal, the interest, everything in your state.
It doesn't matter.
What? That
doesn't matter.
Why not?
No, don't need it.
All right, so come step on in here. What are you thinking about this whole thing?
Well, he's a loan shark.
What are you borrowing money from him for?
40% interest. Well, at the time, I needed the money for my vehicle. It was broken and it was run down. And
you agreed at the time that to his interest rate, whatever he specified to you?
At the time, I was really desperate. I needed the money. And that's why I closed my account. Once I knew that he couldn't do it anymore, and that was it. So I closed my account on my bank.
Were you worried at any time when you heard from that gentleman you mentioned in the testimony there?
Oh, no.
Didn't worry? How come that didn't scare you?
No, he's not going to do nothing because he's on oxygen and stuff like that. He's not going to do anything.
Okay. All right, Harvey?
Well, just so you know, usury is absolutely illegal, and when you do that, you can't get any interest from the person that you loan money to. In any state, 35% not legal. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
This is the plaintiff, Ton Nguyen. He says he was exiting a parking lot and out of nowhere, the defendant crashed his bicycle into his car. The guy actually did a flip, landed on the sidewalk, and the bike landed on top of him. The defendant was biking carelessly. He was going at a high rate of speed and had no intention of stopping as he should have. He's suing the bad biker for the $1,037.95 he's owed. This is the defendant, Andrew LaFontaine. He says he had the right of way, and the plaintiff didn't stop at a stop sign, leaving a parking lot, and that's why they collided. There he's laying on the ground with his mangled bike on top of him, and all the plaintiff could do was yell at him and curse him out. He has some nerve suing him today because this accident was solely the plaintiff's fault, and he owes nothing. He's accused of flipping out on a motorist.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant crashed his bike into his car, but the defendant says he had the right of way. And he says when he was laying there hurt, the plaintiff was yelling at him. It's the case of one vicious cycle.
Sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Can you pronounce your name for me?
Ton Nguyen.
Ton Nguyen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You are suing Andrew LaFontaine for $1,037.95, the estimate for car repairs, damage to your car due to the fact that he, when he was bicycling, ran into your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
I believe it was around March the 2nd, around 3:30. I was leaving my apartment complex, and I'd pull up to the stop sign. There was a car ahead of me that that was exiting also. And as that car pulled off, I pulled up to I actually was up at the stop sign, so I continued forward because from where the stop sign is, you can't see the road.
Hedges?
Yes, hedges, and there's like a pillar for the gate, and I had to actually pull up a little bit further, and I stopped and I looked left and I looked right, and I was about to pull out, and that's when Andrew had hit me. So.
How did he not see you?
I don't understand. I had asked him if he had seen the car exit before me. He said yes, and I'm right behind the car in front of me, so I don't understand why he couldn't have seen me because from where, I mean, I have pictures actually of the view.
Pictures.
And that's the actual.
Let me see. Can you get up Google Earth for me there too?
Is it already up now?
Yes.
Okay.
So this will be an aerial view of what we're talking about. Let's use that. I see somebody on my staff went through great effort for this, and I feel very bad. Look at that. We even have a little bicyclist and everything.
Cars.
I believe that's it.
Okay, come on over here and show me what's what around here.
I don't know if this is an outdated picture, but there's a gate here, and the pillars are here.
Okay, the pillars aren't on that picture? Because Google Earth updates a lot. Like, maybe that's not the pillar?
This might be the wrong.
Oh, this might be the wrong thing. Okay, come on over here. Where are you? Where is...
The bike was here.
Okay.
Well, after I...
No, before. I mean, just put it... Okay.
Okay, the bike was there.
Car. Okay.
And there was me, and there's another car here.
Okay.
Pulling out.
So that car... Go ahead, now do it.
The car pulled out in front of me. I pulled up right there, and that's when Andrew hit me.
Okay, and how long were you pulled up right there before he hit you?
Just moments, long enough for me to look left and then look right, and at that moment...
Did you see him when you looked right?
I did.
Okay, you did see him.
He was coming pretty fast.
He was coming pretty fast, but you figured he'd stop, slow down, or whatever?
Something. But, well, at the speed that he was going, he had no intentions to stop.
So did you know he was going to hit you before you...
I did.
Oh, so were you stepping in the accelerator to get out of the way?
No, I actually was at a stop, and there was cars coming, so I couldn't.
Yeah, so you couldn't do it. You actually saw it... You looked at it and said, oh my God, he's going to hit me, and he hit you. Was he on his cell phone or something?
I do believe he was on the phone. He said he wasn't, but I do believe he was on the phone because it was actually ejected 10 feet from him with his headphones, and that's what I had asked him, and he...
Oh, so you think he might have been switching songs?
Maybe, something.
All right, go ahead and go back. What's going on, my friend?
Well, there is a giant pillar / gate, and that's not an updated picture.
So you think that's just an outdated picture, but that is the area?
Because the sidewalk doesn't curve like that either. It's the sidewalk.
What are you doing on the
completely
sidewalk?
Straight. I always ride on the sidewalk.
You know it's illegal.
I've never been told that by any cop.
You don't need to be told that. You need to know it. You're not allowed to ride on the sidewalk. You have to ride in the street.
Okay. The cop said
That's
I was
the
a
law, and
pedestrian.
in most places, and it's certainly the law where you're from. I mean, you can't. Well, the cop actually charged you with reckless driving, right?
Which is not what he told me at the scene. He said that it was nobody's fault and that he gave me a card. He basically spoke to me for 2 minutes.
Did you get charged with reckless driving?
As
far as you know, no?
As far as I know, no. It said I was cited.
Right, cited means charged, right.
But I was never told that at the scene.
Do you have a ticket outstanding that you never got notice of?
I got never.
You better
got notice
look it
of a
up.
ticket.
You better look it up because is your license already suspended?
Yes.
What was your license suspended for?
Speeding.
Okay, and is that why you were on the bike?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I think you need to look into whether you got a ticket because
Because he told me at the scene that nobody was being ticketed.
Yep, careless driving. Charge, careless driving, citation number none. He didn't give you a ticket, but he found that it was your fault. He was trying to give you a break, I guess. Did you end up going to the hospital?
Yes, I did.
Tell me from your perspective what you see and feel.
When I was riding down the sidewalk, I saw the car that was in front of him, and it was blocking the sidewalk. So I was slowing down, and as I was coming up, the car pulled out. So I kept going. I don't have a stop sign there. I will look left when I get up there, but I was still going. Where we collided was literally a foot off of the sidewalk into the driveway part. The stop sign is located behind a pillar and 6-foot tall fence.
I'm sorry, so are you saying that you saw him?
No, I did not see him.
You did not see him?
I only saw the one car that was in front of him.
Okay, but if you know there's a pillar, why aren't you slowing down?
I am slowing down, but once I got up there, I don't see him. There's a
he doesn't
spot.
see. If you can't see, let me tell you that as a biker, know the following: you can't see him, he can't see you, and you're like gonna die if he doesn't see you and is coming really fast. Meanwhile, he's protected by a 2,000-pound, metal leviathan of steel. You're exposed. So why aren't you paying attention? You got your headset on. Are you changing songs?
No, I was not on the phone. But when I flip over a bicycle, things are gonna come out of my pocket. I hit his car and flipped over the bicycle to the point where I was tangled inside of the bicycle.
Were you injured?
I had a bruised knee. They said the x-rays were negative. It was better after a week.
You both said something that I'm just so curious about. Both of you used the phrase, a hole in my chin. What was that?
So do drivers treat bicyclists with respect?
I know I do because bicyclists don't have protection. Being inside a car.
They should wear a helmet, that's for sure. What do you think?
I think it depends on the situation. I do think most of the time they don't, but I do think bicyclists sometimes take advantage.
Fair enough. And Bozo, last word.
Well, it depends on the driver, and a lot of times the bicycle drivers cut the cars off, and they just drive like maniacs like a lot of drivers do.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
I don't know how I got it, but once I got up, I was bleeding, and it was in my chin, and there was like a whole gash.
And what was it? Did you just treat it?
I was given stitches.
Oh, you did have stitches.
Yes.
How many stitches did you get?
I think it was 3.
3? Ugh. So when you're talking to him and telling, do you have pictures of the car?
I do. He actually has.
Okay. When you're talking to him at the scene, how's it going? I presume you're kind of worried about him at that moment.
I was. I actually had to.
The pillars are right there, guys. I'm looking at them.
Okay.
They're right there.
I actually had to help him off the bike off of him. His legs were entangled in the bike.
Ugh.
And then I noticed he was bleeding. I asked him if he wanted medical assistance, and he refused.
So you're on the sidewalk, which is not a bike path. Oh my God. You're on the sidewalk, which is not a bike path. And you see that this is an open driveway, and you're not stopped to peek around the pillar? You have a death wish? Hi, I'm so glad that you're okay. Let me see the estimate for the damage to the car. Who is authoring this preliminary estimate? There's not even the name of a place.
It's actually across the street from where that.
Yeah, I know, but where's the paperwork with an actual? I mean, normally I'm used to seeing the name of the company. You could have done this on your computer.
Well, I didn't look at it really well, and that's what
Did you notice that it has no name on it?
No, I didn't actually. That was the only day I had time off actually from work, and I actually went to the closest place that I knew.
That part's not a problem. It's a page 2. Where's page 1?
Oh, I must have misplaced it. I'm sorry.
Well, you're going to have to get it, okay? Because I need to know that that's what it's going to cost to fix your car. But in the meantime, did you get taken away by an ambulance?
No, I didn't want to be taken away in an ambulance.
Who came to get you?
My dad.
Okay, that must have been scary for your dad.
I was in a car accident when I was 7. I got hit by a car.
He's getting used to it?
Yeah, he's used to it.
You truly have a death wish. How did it go between you two on the scene?
Like I said, when he pulled up and got out of the car, I asked him to get the bike off my leg because it was tangled and it was hurting. He was fine, got the bike off my leg. After that, it turned more hostile. It was, cursing at me. Why did you do this? What are you, stupid? Did you not see me? Or did you not see me? Why were you on your phone? And I'm like, I wasn't on my phone. Well, it's on the ground, so obviously you were. Just cursing at me. And then I said, do whatever you got to do. And I called my work because personally, I can't afford to miss work. I have bills to pay, and I don't make that much money. So I called my work to tell them I was not going to be there or I was going to be late. And he was just screaming at me. Security guard finally showed up, and I asked the security guard to keep him away from me because he's threatening me. And he said, I'm threatening you?
How was he threatening you?
He told me if I got lippy again, he was going to hit me in the face.
If you got lippy?
Lippy.
What was he referring to when he said that you were lippy?
I was talking back to him or something is what he said he was going to hit me in the face. But I was getting lippy.
Would you like to respond to this?
I'd like to say to the defendant that he is under oath right now, right? Am I correct?
Did that happen or it didn't happen?
It did not happen. I did not threaten.
Did you ever say something about him being lippy?
I told him that he didn't need to get slick out of his mouth with me. I was just trying to find out what happened and why he hit me.
How was he slick?
He was just telling me, shut up, I don't want to talk to you, don't speak to me.
Okay.
Just little comments that he was making.
All right. I'm gonna take this back and make sure that this is a legitimate estimate. Assuming that it is, I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $1,037.95. You'll need to pay the man.
Well, the judge has just found you responsible for the damages in this case and the accident, so what's your feeling on this now?
I don't think it's right. I was on a bicycle, and I was crossing the street, and he should have looked right for his blind spot, too. But that doesn't
Okay, that's him. You were on the sidewalk. That's illegal, number one.
Okay.
All right.
I had nothing to say.
And also, didn't it occur to you maybe there might be another car coming, even though one just went by? It's your safety at stake, right? All right. All right. Then you just head right around this way. All right. What do you have to say? Come on in.
I think the judge was just, and she saw through my own eyes exactly how things.
Mm-hmm. Did you get? You're a big guy. He's not. You think you could have been a little threatening to him at the scene?
I think he felt threatened physically, but verbally, I was not being threatening to him.
The guy was injured, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you show any compassion for him there?
I did. I actually helped him lift off the bike off his legs, and he was entangled. And after that, I asked him if he wanted medical assistance. Of course, I made sure he was okay.
So you satisfied the way you handled it at the scene?
I think so.
All right. Okay. Over to Harvey.
Headsets are not illegal to wear, but it creates a strong smell of negligence.